Hey y'all, it's me again, Valerie. Welcome back to my yarn room. Yay! Okay, before we get started, I would like to invite anybody who hasn't already to hit that word subscribe. When you do, give the videos thumbs up, share them if you can, and leave me a comment. Alright, I apologize. I did not block these, so they're a little bit wonky. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Uh, y'all like my pretty sunflowers? Y'all want to learn how to make these? Because that's what I'm doing today. And they are super, super simple. They're so simple that I taught my mom this pattern over the phone. Now, she's doing it a little bit different, but I taught her this pattern over the phone. All right. Move those out the way. All right, now, I am using, for my center, I'm using a tweed. Because if anybody's ever looked at a sunflower, the center part is not all solid one color. You have dark spots and you have light spots. So, I'm using a tweed. And this is just an old loops and threads impeccable that I came across, I think, at a yard sale. Alright, now, I am going to start with the magic ring. And this is the way I do the magic ring. I hold this right here, my tail, facing away from me. And I bring it up and I wrap it around those two fingers, cross it, bring it back down. Now, if you do it a different way, by all means do it. And then I go under that one and I grab that one and pull it through. I take my fingers out, grab my working yarn, and do a chain. Alright, now, with this pattern, you're going to put 16 double crochets in that ring, working over your tail and your ring. There's one. Two. Three. Ha, you thought I was going to make you sit there and watch me do 16 of them. No, I will meet you back when I get the rest of them done. Okay, I'm back, and I've got 16 double crochets in that magic ring, working over the ring and my tail. Alright, right here, I'm going to, before I slip stitch, I'm going to pull that tail. Notice I didn't pull it out of the way. Sometimes that first one will twist on you, so you might have to turn it. Alright, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. And I'm going to chain one, pull my yarn, and I'm going to cut my tail, because I'm done with the brown. Then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to finish tightening, and you'll feel it when it pops. Alright, I'm not going to sew in my ends right now, but I do suggest, with these being so small, to go ahead and sew in your ends as you go. Alright, I'm going to get the next color out. Which, this one is actually a mainstay in the color gold. Now, with this one, I'm just going to do a slip knot. And I'm going to put my hook in, tighten it down. Now, with this, I'm working in every other stitch. So, I'm going to skip this right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the one right before it. And I'm going to do a slip stitch right here. And I'm going to tighten it down. Alright, now, what we're doing is we're doing double crochet 3 together. But, notice we ain't got nothing here to work on. The way I do it is I chain 2. And I'm going to work over that tail in that same space right there. Okay, I'm going to go in. I yarned over. I'm going to go in. I'm going to draw up a loop. I'm going to yarn over. And I'm going to go through 2. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into that same space. I'm going to draw up a loop. My tail's coming through. Sometimes that happens. It's okay. And then I'm going to yarn over. And I'm going to go through 2. Okay, that gives you 3 loops on your hook. This is the only one where you'll have 3. The rest of them you should have 4. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go through all 3. And then I'm going to chain 3. Okay. Now I'm going to drop that tail. And I'm going to skip this right here. I'm going to yarn over. And I'm going to go into the next one. Draw up a loop. Yarn over. Go through 2. Okay. And then I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go back down in the same space. Draw up a loop. Yarn over. And I'm going to go through 2. Well, that gives me 2 partial double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go right back down here in the same one. Draw up a loop. Yarn over. And I'm going to go through 2. Now see, I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and go through all 4. And then I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to skip this next stitch. And if you got a problem seeing it, just pull your yarn over. So skip this one and go into the next one. And do a double crochet 3 together. Four loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And don't forget to chain 3. And you do that all the way around. And that gives you your little sunflower petals. Alright, and I'll meet you back right here after I put my last double crochet 3 together in. Okay, I'm back. And I've got 8 double crochet 3 together. Because you skipped one in between. You started with 16, so you should have 8. Okay, and I've chained 3. Now, over here. You don't go into either one of these. Because that's your chain 2. the next one up is the top. So you just slip stitch into it. Chain 1, pull your yarn, snip it, pull it out, and tighten it. Now, if you got a problem with it curling, which you might, I always do, it curls one direction or the other, pull it. It's yarn. It can take it. Now, again, I'm not going to sew in my end, but I do suggest as you go sewing in your ends. The ones that I made previous, that's what I did. And it does make it a whole lot easier to not have to worry about ends at the end of a small project. Alright, pull out some green. And this is a Red Heart Super Saver in the color, I think, Patty Green. So, yeah, you can mix yarns. Now, I am staying with a number 4 weight all the way through. But I'm thinking, you know, what might be pretty is if you've got a fuzzy, bright yellow like that, that would be real pretty. Okay, so it does not matter where you ended. You just want to go into any of the chain 3 spaces and slip stitch. Now, I'm going to chain 3 because this is the granny square part of it. Alright, and then working over my tail, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. Okay, now see, I've got room there because this is a corner. So I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to go back down in that same space. And I'm going to put 3 more double crochets. Because at chain 3, it acts as a double crochet. And that's what helps by sewing in your ends. Because I just snagged my end of my yellow. And then I'm going to chain 1 after I do my corner. My tail wants to come out. Now, every other chain 3 space is going to be a corner. So, we just did a corner. So this one is going to be just a granny cluster by itself. And then I chain 1. Okay, then we're going to go right here to the next chain 3 space. And we're going to work another corner, which is 3 double crochets. And a chain 2. Pull it over. And 3 more double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1 because we're going right here and doing just a regular granny cluster. And that's all it is to this. You do just a regular granny cluster here, and then right here you do a corner, a regular granny cluster here. Right here you do a corner, minus all my tails coming out right there. Yeah, right here you'll do a corner, and then you'll end with just a regular granny cluster right here. And you'll chain 1, and then slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 you made right here. And that's all it is to it. And you get this pretty little sunflower, and it looks like grass up around it. And these squares like this, they are very, very versatile. You can pretty much make anything with these squares. You can sew them together and make a purse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them together in a line like this, and I'm like a steering wheel cover for my vehicle. So, yesterday, me and TT was talking, and she wanted to know if I was making them to make a pair of shorts. Well, I might. And if you don't want to make them in a sunflower, you can easily change the colors and make them in a daisy. Like I said, these little squares like this, they are very, very versatile on what you use them for. You can sew them together and make a blanket, a lap gown, a tank top, whatever. But if you do make clothes with it, because it does have big holes, I suggest putting a liner. Also, if you use these to make a purse, I suggest a liner. You can make a project bag with them. Whatever. Very versatile squares. And like I said, I do apologize that I did not block them. Whew, that was a bright light. But, yeah. And that's all it is. So, I'm not going to hold y'all up any longer. I will meet you back here in the next one for another grand adventure right here in Val's Yarn Room. And I truly do love each and every single one of y'all to pieces. And do something nice for somebody, even if it's just a smile. All right, y'all. That's going to be all for today. So, I guess get your crochet on. I'm gonna. Bye, y'all.